Welcome on back to the Elden Ring Level Cap Challenge. Taking care of Mog in the last episode puts us in a great spot for today's adventure. Quick look at the stats, that 105, it's gonna have to be enough. For today, we will be leaving the Blood Swamp area, goodbye, and heading our way into the Halleck Tree. We can't avoid it anymore, I guess it's go time. We're gonna start at the giant lift that took us to the land of the giants. Out of all the run-throughs, this one is the most straightforward. Just pass through a small dungeon, head into a snow area, and bam, you're in the new area. It took me until my third playthrough to realize that this first dungeon portion has a whole separate area underneath. The annoying part about it is it's a series of hidden platforms jumping and walking. Kinda like the Crystal Caves in Dark Souls 1. Did it once, no need to do it again. I've lost way too many souls that time. Taking the quick option through gets you to a site of grace and the second portion of the run through, the blizzard area. Honestly, I'm never a fan of the run through blind areas. Part of the charm of this game is the amazingly detailed sections they built, but you can't see it when everything is covered up in the fog. I also have PTSD of the snow section in the Dark Souls 2 DLC, so that's probably not helping. I don't mind fighting a hard boss. We're literally heading to the hardest boss right now, but a cheap kill from something you can't see just sucks. I know I can't be alone on this though, so go ahead and write in the comments your cheesy death from any game. Let that frustration out. Whew. Finally reaching the site of grace for this section, we are just a stone's throw away from the map. There's quite a few great caves and areas to visit if this was a normal playthrough, but we're actually going to be skipping a lot of that stuff. There's only 3 places for us to visit here: a church, a tree sentinel, and the village gatekeeping our progress. I completely forgot that this church doesn't have a flask upgrade item. There's a quest line with the spirit ash that ends here, granting you a talisman and a shield. For this playthrough though, there's no point. So enjoy the scenery, I guess? Looks cool. Next is the tree sentinel, and I know it's over there. At this point in the game, these tree sentinels stop becoming a DPS check. They're kind of a joke. With your stats and weapons where they are at, we are making quick work. Well, as you can see, I even forgot to switch the flask from the Mog fight, and it doesn't even make a difference. Crazy how we were struggling in Caelid with one, and now this is just completely easy. It's around here I start to believe that we might not have as much of a challenge with Malenia. She's hard, don't get me wrong, but I actually believe it wouldn't take too long to fight her. Boy, I couldn't have been more wrong. Last stop is to open the gate portal. I always thought that this area in this village was cool. You first start with nobody there, but then as you pass through a portal, everything is revealed, the puzzle along with the enemies. These archers though, ooh, do they hit like a truck. They're ready to snipe you back to the site of grace. The hidden Shadow Knight doesn't make things any easier too, but with all 4 lit, we can head to our next area. Miquella's Halleck Tree. Such a love-hate relationship. Well, more love than hate, really. This place is gorgeous once you get into it. A quick stop at the site of grace refills our flasks and starts the worst part of this entire video, the treetops run-throughs. We're already used to running on the branches from the capital, and with all the platforming we've done so far, it's not too bad. It's what I would say if it wasn't for the enemies that they have scattered around. Between the white musicians, the giant ants, everything is just so tedious trying to get through. Like always, we are just focusing on running through this. I've gone through this area once to see everything that was scattered around. There are a few good items. In my opinion though, nothing is worth the headache of navigating through this, so we're gonna pass it. A quick drop down the ladder grants us this site of grace and our new checkpoint for the area. Even though we are on solid ground now, this next run-through area isn't any easier. Power scaling is at its highest in this region, main reason why I save here for the end. We have enemies ranging from mini-bosses as average mobs to demi-humans with absurd hit poise. With all that though, this has got to be one of the coolest places from an aesthetic perspective. The fancy white marble platforms wrapping around a giant tree gives off strong Final Fantasy vibes, and I'm not mad. I just wish the walkways were a little bit longer, but it's Elden Ring after all. This site of grace does mark the halfway point of the level, and with great timing too. I've learned the hard way to handle the 3 snails to de-summon the mannequins. Trying to run through fast never works, one attempt ending with me losing 400,000 runes. That was a rough night. Last hurdle before our boss is these two giant cheating mages. I say cheating because their spells are always bigger with a hitbox. I'll just show you what I mean. Come on, come on! No! Damn it! We're doing so good through this level too. Taking my own advice and just running past them, we finally have our mid-level boss. If you went to the Carrion Manor in the top left corner of Liurnia of the Lake, you would have fought the spirit summon of Loretta. Here in the Helix Tree, we are tackling the real one this time. It's a great fight and worth the hype for Malenia coming up. Enjoy! Yes! Huh. Guess she doesn't stay down. Oh, shit! Woo! God, that was close. Ugh. Damn it! No! No! When did she hit that hard? Fuck! Ah! No. No! Come on, come on, come on. Woo! Only took 2 tries. Maybe I'm not feeling so good about this Melania fight after all. With our last boss before Melania taken care of, we can start the final run through to get to her. First on the list is picking up the Site of Grace, and with that, we start the long trek down. It's still incredible looking off into the distance, seeing this giant structure, and knowing that you will be exploring that section in a minute. I know I've talked about it a few times in this series, but it's still incredible to know that they are pulling this feat and succeeding this late in the game. I still remember having this area spoiled to me, thinking that this was the capital, and in my opinion, this is actually a little bit harder than that. The knights here, they just don't mess around. Speaking of knights, we have our first experience of one before the Site of Grace of this area. As you can see, it's not looking good for us. Luckily, this one doesn't have rot buildup with their attacks yet, and we were actually able to get through. All that's left is to pick up the Site of Grace and prep for the long haul of a last run through. Having done 5 run-throughs already, let's just give you a play-by-play on this one. We run past these knights, grab a Site of Grace, backwards hop not once but twice through rot, look down at Malenia, hi, grab a second Site of Grace and heal up, run on some pillars, find a hole in the roof of a church and fight off some shrimp enemies, almost died, have a cry, survive and claim the Dragon Crest Talisman. We will be using that next. Ride down an elevator, find our last Site of Grace, and rejoice! That's the last run through of this entire series. Woohoo! And that's gonna do it. Malenia is gonna have a separate video, but I'll give you a taste of why. Don't worry. Whoa, hold up. Yes! Yeah. This is gonna take a while. She's what I was the most worried about. The hardest challenge I'll face in this series. Damn it!